If you live in an area with snow and are thinking about solar, you're going to want to watch this. This is just going to show you that there is a lot of maintenance required with solar panels when you live in a snowy area. This is what I'm using now. It's a squeegee that I found. It's made for cars, but I found it on Amazon, and I had I started out with a plastic roof rake with that handle. It's like a 20-foot handle, and I just was afraid I was going to damage or scratch the panels with it. It worked pretty good, but it was just a little scary to use, on these panels. So I went on Amazon and I found this. I wish they made one that was twice the size of it to put on that handle, but anyhow, you can see we got about 14 inches of snow yesterday. And the one big thing is with solar panels, they're worthless with snow on them. These are bifacial panels, but still, when you put snow on them, they only the 10 panels here will only produce about 200 watts from the back if there's snow on the front. So you have to go out every morning after the snow is over, and even, in between storms if you're going to get a little bit of sunshine to get any power out of these panels. And I just wanted to show you it's actually about a 10 below wind chill factor out there right now. So it ain't pretty out there, and as you can see, it's lake snow. So this is going to have to be done again either later or tomorrow, when the snow stops. So it's pretty much a daily job up here, where I am. You just get a constant little bit of snow, and that's just enough to make them so that they're basically worthless. So here we are. I sped it up a little bit there. And I also wanted to show you that I thought putting these on a trailer would be a good idea, but what I found out is I'm only about 2 feet off the ground, and the snow just builds up there, and you're constantly shoveling to remove the snow too. So I definitely wouldn't put, if you're in a snowy area, I wouldn't put them on ground mounts that are close to the ground. I think my permanent installation is going to be 4 or 5 feet off the ground on the low spot of them. So you learn a lot, when you build these test systems, and I just thought I'd show you now. Another thing in the summertime is you got to wash the pollen off of them too. So there also is some maintenance in the springtime when the trees have pollen on them, and a lot of bird crap too. But so solar, it's not maintenance free like having a grid come into your house. It does take some work and maintenance to keep everything running, but without doing this, it's basically a waste of money. So for 4 months out of the year up here. So you can see these are bifacial panels, and I'll show you in a second. We'll go inside and I'll show you the power that they make when they're cleaned off in the winter, because these panels do love the cold weather. The voltage and the amperage goes right up there. So I just just kind of wanted to give you an idea that if you're in a snowy area and thinking about solar, this is one thing you're going to want to think about is, having time to do maintenance on the panels, or, just not relying on them and pretty much making them worthless in the winter. Boy, it's cold out here. Got to get this done. And you don't have to get them 100% clean. A little bit of sunshine. We're supposed to get a half hour worth of sun today, so a little bit of sunshine and that little thin layer on there will be gone immediately. The black does absorb the heat from the sun and melt them right off. So it is a little bit of exercise too, but it's not something that's a lot of fun to do in the morning. So there they are. They're clean pretty good, and take a couple minutes. The sun just came out. You can see I got out here just in time. We're going to get about half hour of sun. Let's go inside, and I'll give you an update on the room in there, the solar room. And this shed has just been wonderful, keeping stuff in the winter and keeping the solar stuff. Now this is my room that I heavily insulated this when I built this room in here. And let's go inside there. And it's about 50 degrees in here right now, and you can see the panels are putting out over 2,000, about 2,600 watts right now. So, the sun just hit them, started melting them, and they're waking up. And I've been heating this all winter, even with this 10 below week we've had. This little tiny 200-watt heater has been working, taking care of it, and the bigger one is there for backup should that fail, or I was running them on 2 different battery setups. But now I have them, basically both hooked on the big battery setup with the smart switches. Let's see right there. So they're controlled by the 2 thermometers in here, so everything's all, got backup on it just in case something goes wrong. It'll never get cold enough to hurt the batteries. And this HumpSync battery, after a couple dark days, no sun, it's pretty much just waiting to be recharged right now. But that's been working really good. And you can see we do have a little sun, and it's starting to get the power up a little bit. So pretty much I've been reserving most of this power for backup when the grid goes down, and so I really haven't been consuming a lot of it this winter. During these colder, shorter days, we don't get a lot of sunshine in the winter. And there you can see the HumpSync battery is down, and it's in charging right now. Those 2 panels out there are putting some power back into it. So a couple sunny days, and it should be charged back up. And power, it's slowly coming up. There we are, up to 4,200 watts now as the rest of the panels clear off, and the sun gets up a little bit higher out of the clouds. And one other thing I wanted to update you on is this eco-worthy charger. It's really not worth it. It doesn't work with dirty generators like they said. I can only go up to about 30 amps, and I get an error code on it. So we really need an inverter generator with it. It doesn't work as advertised. And here's the output out of the panels now that the sun's hitting them and they're all cleared off. It's 5,600 watts. These Aptos panels are 440 watt panels. There's 10 of them, so they overproduce, and I've gotten up to almost 6,000 watts out of them on a cold, sunny day. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.